Says you're welcome to start early. So we are early.
Yeah,
Here we
hot.
are. We're live. We're late, but we're live. We actually have been on for a good 10, 15 minutes chatting
Solid.
about marijuana legalization. The only problem was y'all weren't on here because I didn't hit go live.
Well, we'll catch them up. We'll get them up to speed here and bring everyone
I
into our
swear to God,
conversation that we had, our own private little conversation.
we had our own little waked and baked time. No,
So I said,
um,
take two, right?
I was saying earlier that when I was talking to Sean and you're listening to uh, episode three. We call it three because there were some episodes that didn't come on, but we Sean had gotten me some of his own RSO, Rick Simpson oil, and my wife has very bad muscular stuff going on, and I got to tell you, it worked. It worked very, very nicely for her. She got the rest she needed, the pain relief. She kind of said it reminded her on the old days of like an Ativan without that all that crazy feeling the next day.
Right.
So anybody with autonomic disorders, muscular stuff, really deep, deep stuff, RSO, man, looks like it's a good way to go. And today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the legalization stuff that's going on around the corner
Yeah.
or around the world. Did I say around the? Yeah, around the corner
Yeah,
here,
around the corner
all over the
tomorrow, right?
place.
Tomorrow we're supposed to
So
have the big press release. Tomorrow they're
yes,
saying Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He put the bill together with the Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden and Senator Cory Booker. The three of them put this bill together, and tomorrow they're going to announce it. So this looks like our first steps towards a platform for a national decriminalization, legalization, where they're going to take it off the Schedule 1, and it's not going to be a, you know, it's not going to be charged with misdemeanors, and it's just going to be handled much like alcohol after that.
we hope so. Although, Trump was one of the people who thought just leave it up to the states, didn't really say anything either way. And Biden is starting to sound a little bit too, where they're kind of tossing everything over to the states. But, well, what do you start doing when all these states start bordering each other and you're in Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and they're all legal, but one in the middle isn't?
Right. Well, I mean, that even happens still with alcohol, right? There's dry counties in different states. Like I think Lynchburg, Tennessee is still a dry county where they make Jack Daniels. There's no bars there. There's no liquor store. A lot of states have state-run liquor stores, and you can only go on certain days and get booze. So I think they kind of want to follow suit. I don't know if I just got blocked off there. They want to follow suit with that. That's up to the state. So if that state says no way, Jose, then I think they're going to go with it. But if they release this policy where it changes it federally, that's a big deal. Then the states, they get to make their choice whether they want to incorporate those new policies or not. And I think once they see what the other states have done and who's doing it right, who's not, it can allow the states who are maybe on the fence about it to get some information and put it in their legislative if they're going to make it work for them or not. So
Well,
hopefully.
we've got 18 medical states, or I might have that back, 18 legal states and 36 medical states. And it's getting to the point now where, Illinois, which used to be very anti now, weed.
Right.
And I don't know off the top of my head, but the amount of money that could be brought into a state like, I'll just make Alabama.
Yeah.
One of the poorest states in the union, the amount of money that would come in from the taxes alone. And if you noticed, of all the things Americans will complain about, they don't complain about taxing their legal weed.
Right.
So Americans are willing to do that. And there's so much money. I mean, Arizona, I live in Arizona, and the amount of help that education and teachers could get from that money is amazing. And it's not we really
Yeah.
kind of need a standardized plan or something, no pun intended, where this money is used for that. Whether it's for infrastructure, if it's 15% of that, but there's something needs to switch because I don't think the state is going to do it.
No, the states won't. Like, the people will. The people will have to get the right representatives to get it voted in, to get it onto a bill, and enact that way. I think other states that are kind of already more progressive, they've been dealing with this a little longer. They're going to be the first ones to roll out policies that might work, and other states will look at that, see the tax revenues, see how they're handling it, see how they're policing it, right? Like, how is it being enforced? Who's, what are the problems? What are the pros and cons? And I think we're just still at the very beginning of that. We're still won't even see this as an actual bill to be voted on until sometime early part next year. But the conversations are happening already now. What is it going to look like? Who's going to be running it?
And that is a big deal because, you know, this is great because of all the people, Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court is like, it's time we vote on this. There is a little problem with the constitutionality of legalization to the benefit of the user. And that is
Right.
coming from a very conservative judge.
Right.
So it doesn't change anything, but the fact that he's even talking about it is huge.
Right. Yeah.
It's
These
very,
are
very huge.
on the forefront of, discussions right now. There's not, you know, in this industry, there's nothing bigger right now than this conversation that legalization is coming. It looks like it's a very promising opportunity for a lot of states, and and a lot of individual people that will be helped out by this. Hopefully.
And I do not say this. I'm not saying this to offend. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, or you're just short. But this administration, I think, is the most favorable to get legalization done right now. Could be the next one, but right now, at least we got some stuff in place where that could happen within 4 years.
Yeah.
So, this is the time to write your people, talk to your people, all of that. I don't know about Sean because Sean just looks cool whether he's smoking or not. I always look like I'm hungover. But Sean, I mean, I was talking to a woman who's got to be closer to 50 today, and she's got her kids, and her big trip today was her trip to the dispensary. She'd never been. She'd just gotten her card, and she was calling me about what she could use stuff for, what would be best for anxiety. But, it's a whole new world now.
Yeah.
Anybody, at least in this state, can run down to the dispensary and get medication. And I would love it to be that way for everybody across this country. I have the same bottle of ibuprofen in my nightstand that I had 2 years ago. I don't use it.
No, not at all. I haven't in so long. And
I don't use gabapentin. Now, we are not getting on here and giving you medical advice like, don't take your insulin. Don't be an idiot. Take your insulin. But for pain, I no longer have to take gabapentin.
Right.
And you had your own injuries too that you treat this for.
Exactly. It all comes down to self-medicating. So if you're going to choose one way to self-medicate over another, you get to make that choice. Now, if you find something that works for you that's not a pill, then that's an option.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just got this question because I guess the question isn't to me. It's to Sean. Okay, so this is not to me, it's to Sean. Okay. The question is, they have heard that marijuana can be used for weight loss, which they thought would be the exact opposite.
I mean, I've heard people talk about it. I haven't had any experience with that. I mean, I have been doing my own kind of dieting and weight loss stuff, right? But I haven't used marijuana specifically in that to trigger something as like a metabolite. Because, as you're smoking it, it sends out a reaction in the body to search for proteins. And that search for protein is usually what triggers the sensation of, oh, we need food. because we're searching out proteins. We need proteins. Where are they? The quickest way to get it in the system is eat something, right? So that's usually where people will think that, okay, there's munchies involved with this, but different forms of the cannabinoids, right? Different types of cannabinoids will have a different effect on your system. So it can work as a suppressant,
When
but most of the
I
time it
was,
works as a,
I can see where it could help with your exercise because when I was powerlifting, I would smoke sativa
right?
before a workout. Now, when I'm smoking a sativa, I don't got a whole lot of hunger going on,
No.
and the level of energy for me is higher. So I tend to feel a little stronger and, believe it or not, a little more focused into the workout.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You
So,
get more micro focused where everything else becomes blocked out and you're more on that one task and all your thought and energy is in that motion.
so I would say this. I know some people who are more wake and bakers and they smoke sativa and they don't get the munchies as much. And I would go, yeah, you probably wouldn't gain weight. But other than as a stimulant for a workout, now I could be wrong. Somebody could come on and go, if you slap weed up against your head, you'll lose weight. But so far, I haven't heard that. But you can't. Are you eat? What are you doing in there? Are you eating?
Me? No, I'm not doing anything.
I hear this little crunching going on.
Yeah, it's every time you speak, I hear a crackle afterwards.
Hold on. How about now?
Seems to be fine.
It's always something, man.
Isn't that weird?
It's
It's
weird.
like my when I get close to the phone, it starts doing it. It's like my own electrical current or something.
So yeah. So a lot of wow, I can hear ringing now too. That's weird.
I don't know.
Someone just asked about can I use weed if I have high blood pressure? You want to take that one?
I mean, there's a potential that anyone who is taking marijuana could increase their blood pressure. So if you're already dealing with high blood pressure, that's definitely something you want to look at. And and
I have high blood pressure and I do not. I use very little sativa
right,
when it comes to that because I find that I will get that high blood pressure or my blood pressure will go up from the sativa.
yeah, I believe it's
Indica,
called hypertension, right? So anytime you're introducing something that will cause hypertension or some type of vascular tension, that could create more strain on a system. Uh, so I always tell people be real cautious and real careful. It's your body. You know you better. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, you probably are monitoring how high your blood pressure is. So if you do have a smoke and you notice your blood pressure goes down, well, that might be a good thing. If you have a smoke and your blood pressure goes up from where it was 10 minutes before you had a smoke, well, then you might know that this isn't the good combination. This isn't the right effect that you're looking for.
I have found that the sativas would elevate for me. Now, hybrids don't seem to, but sativas will. That's just me. You should check your high blood pressure or check your blood pressure anyway. And then I actually get some benefits when I use the CBD oil and add it to beverages. It seems to help normalize blood pressure a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely will. CBD will. It's weird because
I
every time you
swear.
get done talking, Rick, it gets tons of feedback. I tried muting my mic just to see if it was that, and it wasn't that. I was muted and it was still crunching.
And I don't know where it's coming from because it's like I don't know, but it sounds fine until we stop talking.
We picked up another conversation.
So oh well, we'll get through it. No, we were talking about legalization, that kind of thing. We were also talking about high blood pressure, that type of stuff. Now I hear it worse.
I know. It's ridiculous, huh?
Hold on a second. Yeah. There we go. We'll get this figured out one day.
Yeah.
And I am not crinkling anything.
I know.
This is weird. Somebody,
Is your cell
well,
phone next to your laptop?
oh well, I don't have my phone on.
Yeah, weird. But oh well.
Oh well.
The world messing with us, Rick.
The world is messing with us. Guys, we are going to cut this short. Only because he and I will keep talking when we get off here. Try to figure this out. So thank you very much. Sorry about this, but
Yeah,
got a little bit out there.
Yep, we'll get this fixed with the audio, and we'll be back
All
here
right.
shortly.
You got it. Take care. I do not know what the fuck that is.